The Churchill tank was an absolute beast of early British armour, built when the military still split designs into slow infantry tanks and fast cruiser tanks. It was heavily armoured and incredibly tough. It could climb steep hills and cross rugged terrain that stopped other vehicles in their tracks. While its top speed was practically a crawling pace, the thick steel plating kept crews alive during some of the toughest fights of the Second World War. It set a standard for survival. While the Churchill took the hits, the Cromwell was built for speed. Entering service later in the war, it was powered by a massive Rolls-Royce Meteor engine derived from fighter planes. This gave the Cromwell an amazing top speed, allowing crews to outflank enemy positions and race across the battlefield. It lacked the heavy armor of the infantry tanks, but its mobility changed how British forces fought, proving that speed and quick movement were just as vital as thick steel. The Comet finally brought speed and firepower together in one very capable package. It fixed many of the issues seen in earlier cruiser tanks by mounting a powerful high-velocity gun capable of taking on heavier enemy armor. With a reliable engine and a lower profile, the Comet became a fast, hard-hitting machine. Many consider it the best British tank of the Second World War. It proved that you did not have to sacrifice a good gun just to keep the vehicle quick and reliable. Arriving just as the war ended, the Centurion changed everything. It merged the thick armor of infantry tanks with the speed of cruisers, creating what we now call a main battle tank. The design was so good that it stayed in service for decades and was adopted by armies around the world. Continually upgraded with better guns and thicker armor, it fought in countless conflicts. The Centurion proved that a single balanced vehicle could handle any mission on the battlefield. Despite the success of the Centurion, the British military worried about massive enemy heavy tanks. To counter that threat, they built the Conqueror. This towering machine carried a massive gun designed to hit targets from extreme distances. However, it was incredibly heavy, difficult to maintain, and struggled to cross bridges. As standard tank guns improved, the need for a dedicated heavy tank faded away. The Conqueror had a short life, but it remains a fascinating Cold War giant. Looking to create a cheaper and lighter alternative to their mainline tanks, British engineers developed the Vickers main battle tank. Although it was primarily built for the export market, it showcased brilliant British engineering. It used the famous L7 rifled gun and a reliable engine, packaging them into a fast, cost-effective vehicle. Several countries bought and built this tank for their own armies, proving that British tank design could be highly successful on a global scale. The Chieftain took British tank design in a bold new direction by focusing entirely on armor and firepower. It mounted a devastating rifled gun that was the most powerful in the world at the time. To keep the profile low, the driver actually sat in a leaning back position. While its engine was known for being somewhat unreliable, the sheer stopping power and thick defensive plating made the Chieftain a feared opponent. It was built to hold the line against any incoming threat. Entering the modern era, the Challenger 1 introduced a revolutionary new type of protection known as Chobham armor. This advanced composite material made the tank incredibly tough to destroy. It proved its worth during the Gulf War, surviving multiple hits and famously taking out an enemy tank from over 3 miles away. Fast, well-armed, and heavily protected, the Challenger 1 showed the world that British tanks were still at the absolute cutting edge of military technology. Building on that success, the Challenger 2 took durability to an entirely new level. It features upgraded armor that is highly classified, keeping crews exceptionally safe even in heavy combat zones. The rifled gun offers incredible accuracy, particularly when firing high-explosive squash head rounds. Throughout numerous deployments, it has earned a reputation as one of the most heavily protected vehicles ever built, with barely any loss to enemy fire during its entire service life. Looking ahead, the Challenger 3 represents the future of British armored warfare. Instead of building a new tank from scratch, the military is upgrading the current fleet with a brand new turret, active protection systems, and a smoothbore gun to match its allies. Upgraded sensors and modern digital systems will give crews total awareness on the battlefield. It ensures that the legacy of British main battle tanks will continue to be a dominant force for many decades to come.